Hi guys, welcome to Girl Talk. Today we're going to be talking about The Graduate. The summary is basically about a young man named Benjamin who just graduated from college and returns back home, and he later reunites with his boss's wife name is Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah, and then they later meet at a party, and she's trying to push him to like make a move on her. Like she's seducing him. She invites him over, and he's like, no, like I have to go. She's like, no, please come in. And then she's offering him drinks and everything, and he's like, no. He keeps on declining, but she keeps on like pushing it. So like it said,
Yeah, and then that's when like the affair started happening, and like he would like go out late at night to like be with her and stuff like that. But later on, he gets forced by his parents to like start dating her daughter, but he promised her that he wouldn't like date her daughter and stuff like that. So he tries to make like his date with her like really bad and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he like takes her to like a burlesque club kind of, and this girl starts getting naked in front of her, and Elaine, which is the daughter, she starts crying, and she ends up running out of this club. And Benjamin like realizes what he did and realizes he messed up, so he just follows her out, and then they actually end up having like pretty much a real date.
Yeah. They like got along after that.
They got along really well.
Yeah, they did.
And then after a couple dates, like Benjamin actually started falling in love with Elaine, which is Mrs. Robinson's daughter, and that's where the plot starts.
Yeah.
So the conflict starts.
Yeah.
Mrs. Robinson like tries to like ruin it and stuff like that, and that's when Benjamin starts telling Elaine the truth, and that's when she gets mad, and they just stop talking. Yeah, that's basically like what sums up the whole movie in a little short summary. And we want to talk about our favorite parts starting off.
So my favorite part of the movie probably has to be their date, because it was very like, I don't know, it was cute. Like, not cute. Okay, it was bad. It was like a bad date. But I don't know, just the way that he realized that he was in the wrong. So he went to go like fishing and like started like being nice to her. Like they got burgers and everything. And I think they got like
I would say my favorite part of the movie would be where Benjamin is like, he like later actually does fall in love with her, and then like she starts hanging out with this other dude once she left for college, and Benjamin literally went out of his way just to stalk her to fight for like their love to get back together. My favorite scene was the rain scene where like Benjamin's gonna go on his second date with Elaine, but Mrs. Robinson like gets in the way and like gets in the car and starts like threatening him, saying that she's gonna tell Elaine the truth and stuff like that, and like ruin it and make his life like really bad. And that's when he like starts running and going to Elaine's house to like tell her the truth before Mrs. Robinson.
I think my favorite scene was probably the one when Elaine like shows up at his dorm and she like starts screaming. I think like the way Benjamin was kind of so like nonchalant about it, while also kind of like you could tell he was upset. Okay, favorite characters. Mine would have to be Elaine. Because like I don't know, I think the way they had her constantly like screaming or showing some type of emotion, she played it really well.
Really good. Her acting was amazing. Yeah. Same with Benjamin. Like he was like one of my favorite characters. Like you can tell like he was really into his role, and that like he knew how to be like that awkward side guy that like didn't know what to do with his life. And when he found his purpose, he was really like into that purpose. I would also say that my favorite character is Benjamin, just because the way he portrayed his character, like him being nonchalant, him being like his awkwardness, like just fit the whole. Oh, sorry. Fit the whole movie. Like it like just I don't know, but like his awkwardness just like fulfilled me.
My favorite character probably has to be Mrs. Robinson, because I don't know why, she just reminds me of the stepmother from Cinderella. I don't know, something about her I just like.
Yeah, I
like,
feel like
even though she did her daughter really dirty, I don't know, I just thought it was like, I don't know, I just like her. Like something about her I just like.
Yeah, she made the movie more interesting.
Yeah, she really did. She did
Like
really
she,
good with her
yeah,
acting.
the conflict and everything towards her and Benjamin was really good.
Well, what about like your least favorite characters?
Least favorite characters? Probably the dad. Because I didn't like he was in the movie.
I low-key didn't really like. I liked Mrs. Robinson just because of the plot of the making of the movie and everything. But she kind of got me really annoyed when like, oh, why is she hating on her daughter? Like, you're supposed to support and love your daughter throughout everything, you know. And like, she just basically like tried stabbing her daughter in the back, and like she made like her acting made me hate her. Like, that's how much of a good actor she is. That's what made me hate her.
That was crazy.
Yeah. I hated how she like peer pressured Benjamin into doing things. Like he would say no, and she would still like consistently insist into it.
I hated how like the lie that she told her daughter, and then like she went and told Benjamin and Benjamin tried to tell the truth. Like, I think that was pretty messed up.
Yeah. Well, if you had to change something about the movie, like what would it be?
Ooh, that's
Maybe the ending.
Oh
Yeah.
the ending.
ending.
I feel like the ending. I mean, it was kind of a good ending, but then like you're
It
just
was
like
awkward.
curious on what happened next. Like they were just on the bus, like with a face of regret. Like what did they just do right now? And I wanted to know like, oh, did they get married? Did they have a happy ending? You know,
And I
or
think
did they
it was
just
kinda
like break up?
rushed. Like,
Yeah.
the way he like went up there and then she immediately sees him and she's like, I'll just go with him.
Yeah, like
I think that was so. They could have done a lot better.
yeah, they could have had like a better ending. Yeah, I agree.
It was really awkward, like the ending scene, because it was just quiet for like 2-3 minutes straight.
I feel like that was like an accident. Like they just didn't know.
An accident. Mr. Lee told us like, oh, like the ending scene, like they didn't hear the director saying cut, so it was just like that, and they just left it like that.
Yeah, they were just like actually like, what did we just do with that?
Yeah.
Okay, what about the acting in the movie?
The acting, I think the acting was really good. I really liked how Mrs. Robinson, her actor, played. What's the actor's name?
Mrs. Robinson?
Just the actor.
Oh, but I like the way the actor played her role. It was really, really good. Cause I don't know, you could just see like the evil in her. Like you see like, I don't know how to explain it, but you could tell that she was really into her role and that she really like kind of despised her daughter in a way. You know, she like envied her that she had Benjamin, and you could like really tell her. Especially when she's like yelling and screaming, and when she's chasing Benjamin in the rain scene, right? Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I feel like the three main characters played their role really good. Benjamin, Mrs. Robinson, and Elaine. Like Elaine had so much acting in the movie, and like she used all her power and her voice to like make that scene powerful. Benjamin's awkwardness was just like on point. Like I felt like that's his personality in real life. That's how he acts in like without when the cameras are not filming anymore. And then Mrs. Robinson, the way she just like shows her body language, like her face, like she doesn't really smile a lot, which like kind of like brings the movie together too. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Like all their acting from all of them is like amazing, especially when they really had to like project their voices. Like when Elaine had to scream, like she put her like soul into that, and Benjamin too, when he was like screaming Elaine's name during that one wedding scene. Like he was really like all of them. When every time they had to like yell or scream, they were really into that part of the scene.
I agree with like Benjamin. I think Benjamin's acting, or like his actor's acting, really stood out to me because like his facial expressions, like even like he was so monotone, but
Yeah,
his
like he-
body language
yeah.
and facial expressions, you could see like whether he was happy or whether he was upset. And I feel like a lot of people like that's a skill people have to learn.
Yeah, like his tone, like it goes like higher and then lower and then higher. I feel like
Yeah.
that's when you like knew like wait, yeah,
And
he's
it's
like
very
sad.
subtle, but at the same time, it's like you can tell when he's
Yeah.
upset.
Because he's a very nonchalant character.
Yeah.
Like very
His awkwardness
Yeah.
and-
But the actor did really well.
Yeah, the acting is amazing, especially the editing. Like, what do you guys feel about that? I enjoyed the editing.
I like the editing.
I like the editing.
I liked it when his car broke down and he had to run and the camera was just
Like following him.
following him while he was running. I really liked that.
I think I like that they learned so many parts. Because in
Yeah,
like,
me
movies,
too.
there's like so many parts, and it's like
Yeah,
really different.
it had more longer shots, or like not longer shots, but
Long
long-
shots.
longer scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, longer scenes. It's like timed perfectly.
Yeah, and I also like the part where they had like followed him underwater when he was swimming. I think that was really cool. Like they actually like went out of their way to get a camera that was waterproof and like just filmed Benjamin swimming under the in the pool.
I feel like music goes along with editing.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like the music that they chose kind of fits.
Yeah,
the movie
there was this
perfectly.
one scene where he was chasing Elaine, and the whole song that played was Mrs. Robinson, the song you were talking about, like just called Mrs. Robinson. He was basically looking for Elaine, while in the background you could just hear, "Oh, Mrs. Robinson, Mrs. Robinson," while he's looking for Elaine. But there's a song going over it of just Mrs. Robinson. Like that was kind of funny
It's the small
because it's the
details.
mom. Yeah.
Like the song is like the music of the movie is like what makes it like comedy in a way, like because it just plays at random times and it's just like the randomest songs that I can like imagine.
And it's like awkward comedy. Yeah, it's the same, but it fits the scene really good. It does. But the songs were really sad, but I feel like that's what made it funny.
Yeah, that's what made it like
Yeah.
Especially on like the scenes that were super awkward, you just have like a really sad song.
Yeah, I feel like that's yeah.
Like I don't know what's going on.
Like it makes you feel awkward to yourself. Like, wait, did they like meant to do that? I'm just like,
What about the wardrobe? What do you guys think about their outfits? What's your favorite outfit?
I think Elaine had really cute outfits.
Yeah, she really
like
did.
it fit the year of when they filmed the movie.
like the wardrobe from like all of the main characters fit their personality really well.
Like for Mrs. Robinson, she always had like her collarbone showing, and then Elaine, like her hair like super nice and big, and then her makeup, like how a teenage girl would like dress.
And Elaine generally had like lighter colors, and Mrs. Robinson always had like darker colors.
Yeah.
So I think it shows like what type of people they are as well.
Yeah.
Especially with like Benjamin's outfits too. Like it fit like that awkward.
Like he would have
type
had
of
suits
guy.
on.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to look professional, but yeah, he didn't know like what he's doing with his life until he found his purpose, which was Elaine.
Yeah.
What about what ifs? Like what if like say like the movie, when did The Graduate come out?
1960.
Like if the movie The Graduate came out instead of the 1960, it came out 2024. Do you think it would like be like people nowadays would like it or like would react
I
as
don't think it would be
not a
good.
comedy?
Yeah, I don't think it'll do as good, especially now's generation.
Yeah.
I feel like they fail to realize like how it's a comedy. They just look at it and be like, this isn't funny.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just awkward. I feel like people wouldn't get like the comedy part of the movie.
I don't think it would do well.
Yeah, it would like do well with the older audience, but like people our age, I don't know. I don't think they would like watch it. It'd be like those movies where they're like, oh, that came out? I didn't know.
Yeah. Or like what if they recreated the movie? Like it came out in the 1960s and they recreated a 2024 version.
I still don't think it would do well. I feel
Like different actors and everything.
I feel like even then, like the plot, people would find a way to make it controversial. So I feel like it wouldn't be something that would do good because people would try to like probably cancel the movie or like the hate
Yeah.
crime. And like what Mrs. Robinson did.
Yeah, I think they would just hate on the movie.
Yeah,
honestly.
people tend to hate a lot.
Yeah.
Especially now.
What if Elaine said no to Benjamin? Like right there.
I feel like because I feel like that was his purpose, Elaine, and I feel like he would just be lost completely, and he would just. I feel like he would just go back to Mrs. Robinson at this point.
Yeah, or he'd be like really depressed and wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I feel, and maybe probably like still low-key stalk Elaine sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he seems like very like attached to her.
Like
he
very
has-
obsessed.
Yeah.
What if the movie didn't end like that?
Ooh,
Like, if
the
it had a
movie
different
didn't end
ending.
Like in a different way.
I feel like if it didn't end like that, it would like show like an after of how like, oh, like did they have kids? And maybe it would show like then later on,
Yeah.
you know how like everything turned out once they decided to like get back together.
What would you rate the movie? Like from a scale of 1 to 10, like what are your opinions?
I would rate the movie a 10 out of 10.
I would rate the movie a 9.5 out of 10 because I feel like even though there was like a lot of good acting and the plot was really good, I feel like I don't don't know. I wanted to be on my toes more. Because, I don't know. I just feel like there needed to be like something that would be like, you know? Something to just like get.
I would rate it a 10 out of 10. The plot was really good and like it was really interesting and I really enjoyed like watching the movie. Like it was one of my favorite movies from like all the ones that we've watched so far.
And 1917.
Yeah, 1917 is pretty good too. But that one was like the one where the plot was like very interesting. It was like, oh, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
I think I also give it a 10 out of 10 because it's also one of my favorite movies. I think that 1917 and It's a Wonderful Life. But I think the way everything flowed was so like
I feel like everything was just natural.
Yeah. And it wasn't like one of those movies where everything feels like it's not supposed to be there. Like
Yeah, like it's just forced. Like the actors are doing it because they're being told to, but like they wanted to and they felt comfortable with each other and everything.
yeah.
I feel like that's what made it a 10 out of 10. And the awkward comedy.
Yeah.
That made it like kind of funny.
Yeah, that's like a movie that I know I wouldn't watch on my own if it wasn't from Mr. Lee putting it on.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thanks, Mr. Lee.
Right down the block.
Mrs. Robinson, Elena and I have a date. We're going out for a drive.
Do exactly as I say.
It seems to me.
Listen very carefully, Benjamin. You're not to see Elaine again. Ever. Those are my orders. Is that clear?
Mrs. Robinson, do you
I can
think-
make things quite unpleasant.
How?
In order to keep Elaine away from you, I'm prepared to tell her everything.
I don't believe you.
Then you better start believing me.
I just don't believe you would do that.
Try me.
Elaine, I'm coming up.
I'm not dressed yet. Benjamin, I said I wasn't
We
dressed.
have to go over the back fence and then meet you at the corner.
What's the matter?
Hurry, put your shoes on.
Benjamin? Benjamin!
Elaine.
What are you doing?
Elaine, I have to tell you something.
What is it?
That woman, that older woman that I told you about?
You mean that one?
Yes, the married woman. That wasn't just some woman.
What are you telling me? Benjamin, will you just tell me what this is all about? Oh no.
Elaine,
Oh my god!
please,
Get out of here!
don't cry.
Get out! Out! Get out!
Goodbye, Benjamin.
Thank you so much for watching Girl Talk. Make sure to watch our next podcast. It's going to come out January 1st. We're going to talk about 1917. Stay tuned.
Yes.